Hello there, everybody. My name's the Zero Man, and welcome to Countdown to Zero. Today we're going to be looking at Divinity Dragon Commander. Yes, I've wanted to talk about this for a while now, mostly because, well, you play a dragon with a jetpack. So, just like every other Countdown to Zero, we're going to look at 3 good things about the game, 3 bad things, if there are any, of course, and usually games do have them. Very seldomly do they not have 3 of them either. And then I'm going to give it kind of an overall summary at the end. So, just to start off, let's look at the video settings, resolution, display mode, quality presets, model quality, texture quality, shadows, anti-aliasing. Yeah, there's some nice stuff here, but there isn't all that much. Also, for some reason, recording right now is having my frame rate for no reason. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's not good at all. So, without further ado, we should get into what I like about the game. Just for the record, I don't record to the same hard drive that I run my games off of. They're completely separate hard drives. And in fact, the one I record to is a USB one, so it's completely separate and independent of any data transfer cables that we need for hard drives. So this kind of a learning time. Know what one of my first gripes with this game is. Would you like to take a guess? Oh, it's a miracle, and my frame rate is still god-awful terrible. Welcome to the very laggy bridge, which apparently this game hates being recorded. I have no idea why, because it works perfectly fine when I'm not using fraps. But that's not the point. The first thing I'd like to say I like about this game is the characters. Oh my gosh, the characters. All of them are delightful.
Oh look, it's an equal of mine. And over there another one. All is well in this land of unicorns and rainbows. Now please excuse me, for I shall drink until I see 4 of every equal and mercifully pass out.
Yes. I like this guy. I think he's the best written one out of all the characters, just because he's a racist lizard man. He is wonderful. So yes, my first thing about this game is I love all of these characters. Each one has a personality. Each one has some kind of quirk about him. This guy right here was betrayed by former soldiers, and that's why he has robotic eye and robotic arm. He's a racist lizard man. She's a feminist from an entire kingdom run by women. And Scarlet back there is a closet lesbian. Yeah. You have the queen here, mine being the dwarf. You could choose multiple different races outside of imp. You have your little imp friend here. And one of my least favorite characters being Maxis, the narrator of the game. You don't get to see the fiery gate in the background. No. You get to figure that one out for yourself. So yes, my favorite thing by far about this game is the characters. The characters are so wonderfully written, so beautifully done. All of them feel semi-realistic, and I just love the writing about them. It's wonderful in every possible way. I'm actually going to go back to the Royal Chambers to point out the second thing I like about this game. Politics. Yes. This game is based around both strategy and politics. Now, politics, depending on how you vote, just kind of can swing different races your way. Like, I vary in with the lizards and the dwarves, but the undead hate me. So those kind of give me bonuses. Since the undead hate me, I have a lot less luck because the undead are ironically the religious faction, but since I'm with the lizards and they're very progressive, I have some kind of upgrade from that. From the dwarves I get money, from the elves. I know imps is like science. I don't remember what elves and lizards are anymore. It's been a while since I've played this game, in fact. Oh. Third thing I like about this game. Well, I think it's best to show you from the engine. Tons and tons and tons of beautiful, useful upgrades. Not just upgrades, for the sake of upgrades, where plus 1% critical chance. No, upgrades that actually do really silly and amazing things, like this. You can transform enemies into beetles with warlocks. That's kind of fantastic. There should be one in here. Oh yes, flaming bats from zeppelins. Imp binoculars, bomber balloons. Imp fighters can actually fire down on enemies below. Hunters have rocket pods, so that they're not just ground units, they're actual aerial units as well. There's actually suicide attacks. Ah, the bomber balloon, which is fantastic. You have teleports, follow. Yeah, you do fantastic things, and since you're also a dragon, you get tons and tons of magical dragon powers from things such as the Aura of Annihilation, which is by far my favorite. It just destroys everything nearby people, to Pillar of Flame, which is also one of my favorites. You basically just create a giant pillar of death. You have Pillar of Resurrection, which heals enemies. You have different kinds of roars that do different things, which can help you or hurt enemies, and I just love the entire upgrade system. Yes, I'm way early in the game, and I've completely, flushed out the entire upgrade system already. I say early into the game, I'm in the final chapter, the beginning of the final chapter, but still, I've flushed out the entire upgrade system, and I really wish there was more, but I do love it the way it is. I really, really do love it. I have to get into things I dislike about this game now, and I really don't want to. First off, this guy.
It is a challenging task indeed to face foes whose souls are enwrapped by demon cunning. But I have every faith they'll fall before you, like so many have before.
I don't like this guy. This guy... He's the entire narrator of it. He's one of the central focuses of this entire game. He's the one who gives you this airship that we're on currently. He's the one that gives you powers and all these generals to fight under you, and he's the one that tells the entire story. And no background is given, no depth is given to him. All it is, oh, he was a wizard. Now he's going to help you. Well, thank you, game. One of the most central characters to the entire game, and he has the least story out of everyone. Which is another one of my problems. The story of this game. The story is non-existent. If you go into this wanting to see a bunch of RPG story, yeah, you're going to be sorely mistaken. Not just sorely mistaken, you're going to be laughably mistaken. The only time you ever get story is in between chapters, which, from my knowledge, there are only 3. And it's basically, oh, you're a dragon, you were given an airship, you have brothers and sisters that you must fight, so go and fight them. Like, that's the entire premise of the story, which is hilariously bad. So don't go into this expecting an actual RPG. And welcome to the game map. Yes. As it lags across for no obvious reason. This game is very, very poorly optimized. I'm learning. I don't want to do it. But I want to show you my third most hated thing about this game. Combat. As it lags to no end. Enter. As it lags to no end. Good gracious. It's not like this normally. It's only like... It's actually been silky smooth. This is the first time I've ever seen the game lag. So, yeah. It's interesting. Oh, so many bomber balloons. Juggernaut feats. Yeah, just invade things. Yeah, I want to personally control this battle. I want to show the exact silliness about why I hate the strategy aspect of this game. So begins the 10-minute long loading screen. Are you actually going to work this time? Oh, fantastic. Let me show you everything that's wrong with the strategy. Welcome to the strategy map.
Troopers awaiting your decision, sire.
Now, what do you do in the strategy map? Very, very little. I can build different buildings, which give me troops. This isn't, oh, hey, we have troops, we put them against each other, strategic. No, this is literally, oh, well, we can build troops out of nowhere. And you want to know the best part? You want to know the best part about this? These troops that we're building right now, we don't get to keep.
It'll be built in a jiffy.
Oh, we don't get to keep these troops. None of the troops we make during this battle we get to keep. And all these troops here, these 3 troopers here, if any of those die, if any of those 3 die, we lose the troopers outside of the map. Which, okay, that makes sense, but if I make that exact same trooper, you would think we would employ one of those guys into our army, but we don't. And I understand the game's trying to do, like, oh, a full-time army versus people you're forcing to fight for you, but it's a stupid concept, and I hate it, and it doesn't make any sense. And the dragon! Oh, the beautiful dragon. Who has a jetpack for no apparent reason. Do I like the dragon? Yes, I like the dragon. He spits poison and death. How do you not like the dragon? Seriously. He spews death. I'm getting a little caught up playing the dragon. Anyway, switch back. This way. And you wanna know the silliest thing? You know sea battles where it's supposed to be ship on ship? Yeah, sea battles don't work like that in this game. The way sea battles work is...
Construction underway, Commander. Let's get this dance of death started.
It's spawn. Basically, the ships decide to meet up on an island chain, and on that island chain you get to build these nice little buildings that let you build troops out of nowhere, which there isn't even a population in order to support these troops, so who knows where they're coming from. And basically, it allows you to make a massive land battle at sea.
About to be deployed. Reinforcements requested.
Which
will be built in a jiffy.
doesn't make any sense. You have a naval battle, which is ship versus ship,
won't stumble in our pitfalls, Commander.
and it
They can
becomes
easily unmask cloaked units now.
a complete land battle. It doesn't make any sense. You can spawn troops from nowhere.
Air targets now.
Like, this entire system doesn't make sense at all. It's silly.
Finish off enemy hunters quickly before they teleport to friendly targets.
Just let me out. Just let me out. Thank you. Oh, what do I think about this game? The story, as far as an RPG goes, the story is laughable. The strategy is nonsensical, to say the least. Illogical and completely nonsensical. It makes no sense whatsoever why you do 99% of the things you do in the game, as far as strategy-wise. Never once do you ever leave the airship. As far as being the dragon, you constantly are trapped on the airship. That's all you get to see. All the rooms that you get to see are on the airship. You never get to go anywhere else, to any of the kingdoms the game ever mentions. So I'm going to say this. For once, I'm going to give this game 2 entirely different scores for a very specific reason. Now, if you are into just doing the entire politics part of this and talking to the characters and their dialogue, then you're going to like the game a lot. But you're still going to hate the entire strategy aspect of the game because it's kind of stupid, nonsensical, and I really wish it didn't exist. Because I would be much happier playing the politics than I would the strategy. I really would. For those of you who are strategy fans, you're going to hate this game. You're going to hate this game a lot, because there is very little. It's mostly, oh, I have a dragon, lol, I win. Even though there are times where, if you up the difficulty, the dragon becomes harder to use, but it's still very powerful, so, yeah. But it basically just is, I have more troops than you, I win. That's the strategy of this game. It's very lacking. So for people who are just concerned with the story, like the character development and the politics side, it's probably about a 7 out of 10, which is a great game. Because I love the politics, I love playing it, and I absolutely love just seeing how characters react and just what kind of influence my policies have on the world. But, of course, it's not an amazing game because the strategy element is still terrible. There is absolutely no story. Even though there's quite a few different upgradable abilities, the upgradable abilities are very limited and you can burn out of them very quick if you power research. For strategy fans, this game is a 3 out of 10, which is... It's not awful levels, but it's terrible levels. It's terrible levels. frame rate can be iffy depending on what kind of machine you're using, because I've never had any issues with it, but until the time of this recording, but that doesn't mean you won't, so beware of that just in case. The strategy part of the game will completely bore you to no end, as it has no meat to it whatsoever. You can spawn units out of nowhere, and the entire game becomes StarCraft. Just StarCraft or Command & Conquer for no sensible reason other than the fact of, well, we have to have some kind of strategy elements in our strategy game. And there is no story to really keep you going, so if you don't like the interactions, then there's really not much of a strategy game here. The strategy works, it's just there's not much of a strategy game here to entertain you, so for people who love the politics and are not so concerned about the strategy element, 7 out of 10. For people who like the strategy and really don't care about the politic elements, 3 out of 10. So I like the politics, so I'm at the 7 range on it personally, but I still admit that the strategy aspect of this game is really, really bad. In all honesty, it should have never been put into the game. That's how much I hate it. But if you do want to pick it up, Divinity Dragon Commander is up on Steam. It is $30 if I'm remembering correctly. It's $25 or $30. So if you're interested, take a go at it. It was on sale a little while ago for about 40% off, which means if you're going to get it, you could just wait until about the Steam Christmas sale, which should be going up sometime soon. I know there's going to be a Black Friday sale going up soon. Fairly sure of that. Just pick it up then. It won't really be any reason not to. It'll be 50% off. I have probably a good 20 hours in the game. There's tons of different political aspects you can do. Depending on your life, you can get entire different political aspects going down the road. So I do recommend the game. I just don't go into it if you don't like strategy. If you really like strategies, because you'll be sorely disappointed. So I think that's been enough rambling on Divinity Dragon Commander. So until next time, guys, I have been the Zero Man, and you have all been fantastic.